A parent asked me if it is okay to do puzzles while a child is swinging, or is it okay if the child can do some tracing or writing while the child is swinging, and how long to do swinging. Is it okay to add activities, or should you not be adding activities? These are the kinds of questions that parents asked me, and I wanted to talk about that today. I'm Reena Singh. I'm an occupational therapist, and having worked with kids for the last 24 years, and making them swing all the time. That's what I've done, making them sit on a swing, stand on a swing, lie down on the tummy on a swing, playing with them. What is it that I'm looking at when I'm talking about swinging? Swing actually is a vestibular input. Ball, sitting on a ball and bouncing is a vestibular input. So when I'm talking about activities, it's not about what activity that I want to do with my child. It's about what do I want to really achieve, What is it that I'm looking at? What do I want that swing to do for my child? That's what the actual question is. So you know that vestibular, proprioceptive and tactile, these are the three systems which are very important. And when kids have a sensory processing challenges, the aim is to, at least in my case, my focus is that the vestibular system is able to take the information and stay, the child is able to stay regulated. That's what my aim is. So when I work with kids, when I make them sit, some are too scared to sit on the swing. Some of them want to swing, and they just want to go on and on and on and on and on. They don't want to stop swinging. So they're like on two ends of the spectrum, like either they want too much or they don't want it at all. And when they want too much or they don't want it at all, both the ways, after the swing is given, when they get down, parents say, oh, my child was so hyper after that input. So I know that this input, the vestibular input, did not help the child to feel organized. So my goal when I'm providing a vestibular input is to check if my child can process the input. It's not to do some activity. So if I make my child sit on a swing, if I make my child stand on a swing, if I make my child lie down on tummy, whatever position, if I make my child sit on the ball and bounce, jump on the trampoline, whatever that I'm doing, after that input, what is happening to the child? What did that input do to the child? That is what the question is. If the child has got more organized, awesome. I know that that's the input which is helping this brain and the child to get better, right? Then there are some things called as movement patterns. There are different movement patterns, some which are called prone extension, where you make a child lie down on the tummy, some which are called supine flexion, some that are called lateral. So this is like a lateral flexion. This is a lateral flexion. Trunk rotation, So these are the patterns that I want to strengthen and activate in the child's body while I'm swinging. So the first thing that I'm working on is my child comfortable with the input? Second question is how I'm going to activate and strengthen these patterns. And once I've done them, then the third thing, and it's not like once or second, but this is what I'm observing basically, And then what I want to also work upon is that my child is able to do something like a simple weight shift, able to come forwards and do a weight shift. Am I making the activity challenging for the child so that the child has to participate in it and discover the skills within his body that he didn't knew existed? That's what the goal is. So the goal is not tracing, the goal is not writing, the goal is not performance or activity. The aim is that when the child participates in this activity, it helps the brain to learn to process information in such a way that learning becomes easier. Reading just comes in easily, writing starts coming in easily. So my focus is not to do an activity. The aim is to understand what is this input doing to my child. And to achieve these kinds of activities, I may add up, okay, take a ball and let's throw it into the bucket. So the aim is not that the ball that is going into the bucket. No, the aim is that what is that activity doing to my child? Because I don't want to make it like Okay, now do a weight shift. Okay, very good. Now go back. I don't want to make it into an exercise. It has to be fun. And that's why we add up activities. We do it in the context of play. So, what am I doing on a swing? One, checking if the child is able to process the input and stay organized, stay regulated. Two, I'm strengthening and activating the developmental patterns. Three, I'm challenging the child so that the child can discover his or her own skills, working on weight shifts, activating breath, working on breathing patterns. The breathing, which is not coming from the shoulder, but which is coming from deep down, that's diaphragmatic breathing. These are some of the things that I'm working on so that it promotes regulation in kids. Let me know if this helps you. Let me know if you have more questions after listening to what I'm sharing with you. And if you need more details on how I do it, join my app, Autism Insights. It has detailed courses and detailed master classes and lots of videos where you could see how we develop these kinds of activities. And more than that, what is most important is you get to meet me. And once you've seen the course, you get to talk to me. I'm like, oh, I did this with my child. This is what has happened. What do you think? So it's going to be like a discussion. It's going to be like a discussion, learning, applying, understanding, getting it corrected, and moving up with the developmental gains. So the question, what do I do on a swing? What activity do I do on a swing? What is that vestibular input doing to my child? That is what the goal is all about. Okay, thank you. Before you go, I wanted you to know about my app, autisminsights.com. Autism with an AWE. And in this app, what do you get? You get a 14-day free trial period to the foundation level. You get daily insights from my working for the last 23 years. What you see right now on YouTube, you get to meet me, hear me every day. You get my audio books, you get my recorded courses, you get my master classes. There's so much waiting for you. And I want you to experience it and grab that 14-day free trial for yourself.